We're on the phone today, so yeah, it's just been one of those days. There's just too much going on, and there comes a point where you just have to go, I'm going to go on the phone. So I am. So let me flip the camera down, which is always oh, there we go, challenge. Let me go up a bit. Gosh, that looks about right. So I'm going to see if I can find me on YouTube so I can follow along there. So we're going to be doing some Easter crafting today. I'm just finishing off my sample. So yeah, hopefully people will join me soon. But my my laptop is having a particularly honoury day. So let's see. Let's go to. Come on. I'm trying to get onto my channel. So if you notice that I've gone live, please let me know, because at the moment I feel like Billy No Mate and as if things aren't going quite right. So, hello Nora, thank you, you're here. Someone's here. Yes, it's just been one of those days today. Hello Robertson from the New Hampshires, or indeed Stuart. So I'm hoping that I'm going to see... Ooh, comments have just disappeared. Why would that be? Nope, can't see that. No, is it that one? Oh, live chat. There we go. So I'm hoping I'm about to go onto my YouTube channel on my laptop, so that I can then see what's going on through that, rather than having to stand on tiptoe to see things on my phone. In the meantime, I'm hoping that I can actually thread that through there. Yes, I can. So let me... There I am. Come on. Hopefully. So how is everyone? Oh, it looks like we've got 3 people on, which is probably me, Stuart, Nora, and me, Stuart, and Nora. 4 people. It's getting there. So those of you who are demonstrators will understand why today has been... Hello, Shaz. Hello, Brenton. Hello, Jan. If I've missed anyone, I'm sorry. Hello, Claire. As I say, I'm trying to log on to my laptop as well. It's just incredibly... Oh, let me turn that off. Sorry about that. It's probably going to give you feedback, but it's now hovering. Anywho, in a moment, things will be better when I can get onto my channel on my laptop. So, as I say, we're doing... Oh, and we've got Honolulu here as well, except it's disappeared. Oh, there we are. Hello, Minda. Aloha. So let me see. My browser is currently not responding. Anyway, so I'm going to just chill for a bit. Sorry about the shaky phone. I will do my best to not knock my table. Thank you, someone, for giving me a thumbs up. I cannot believe you how much. I cannot tell you how much I need that today. So, Easter crafting. I seem to have managed to have not done anything for Easter. Hello, Beverly. So I thought it was about time we did. Hence, I'm doing Easter crafting today. So I bought some little crafty, little Eastery things. So I've got some eggs from a well-known, certainly a UK well-known supermarket. Skip ad, thank you. Yes, I'd love to skip the ad. And this little box takes... Hello, Belinda. Oh, I haven't been sad, Shaz. I've just been shattered. Hello, Mary. Or are you talking to someone else who's been sad? Has someone else been sad? No, it looks like everyone else is all right. No, I've just been really busy trying to sort out everything that's going on with the last chance list. Jan's given thumbs up, thank you. And yeah, there's just been an awful lot on today. And I was at the gym this morning, and that's never going to go there. I was at the gym this morning and all that good stuff. Hello, Judith. Liz and the Lizettes. Yes, I'm on screen. As in, I can see the comments over there, which means I don't have to stand on tiptoes. So these are from Sainsbury's, a well-known UK supermarket. So I'm just checking that I've got my volume down. Looks like I have, but I'll check in a minute. So you get quite a few, and this little box takes 4. Now, oh yes, I'm definitely up to speed now. It's got 4 in there. I thought it was going to take 4 and be really squished up. It actually takes 4, and there's a gap, but that's because they're not completely flat. I measured them when they were lying in a nice row. So I needed a longer box. See, that's 4. So I needed a longer box. But that's fine. Different eggs come in different sizes. So let's have those sorts of measurements. So I'm going to make another box of those. And I'm not deliberately choosing colours that are leaving us, but just to say mint macaron is. Sorry, Jan. I've got a Maltese bunny, and I've got a Easter break Kit Kat, and a lint rabbit. Now, I specifically bought the lint rabbit because I reckon those were probably the same size everywhere. So, but I'm going to start by showing you how to make this box, and then I'm going to show you just some ideas of how to package things and how to make. Sorry, I've got a phone call that's come in now as well. So let's decline that. So my brain needs to go, ooh, visitors turned up, we'll catch later. Bye, Shaz. So yes, sorry, I'm really all over the place mentally. Can't believe it. Right, I have got, let's focus the brain. I've got some of the countryside or country gingham designer series paper. Just as a reminder, all our designer series paper will retire at the end of April, effectively. I mean, it's actually the 1st of May, but, you know, let's not be picky. So if you want any designer series paper, get it now. If you want any of the retiring colours, let me see if I can remember what they are. They are Mint Macaron, Bermuda Bay, Mango Melody, I mean, come on. Blushing Bride, really not sorry to see the back of that. Soft Suede, which I love. Sahara Sand, Pear Pizzazz, happy to see the back of that. I want to say, oh, Rich Razzleberry. And I think that's about it. We've got some returning colours. We've got new ink colours. The new ink colours are gorgeous. Just saying. Right, I'm going to use this pattern this time. Purely because I've got lots, I can use it up. But they have brought Pretty Peacock back. They're bringing back Lemon Lime Twist, Lost Lagoon, Berry Burst, all sorts. And I have to say there is a bit of confusion at the moment as to what I'm allowed to tell you and what I'm not allowed to tell you. So I may have told you things I'm not supposed to have told you, in which case, you know, I have. Right, so I need a piece of card. I haven't actually cut this specifically to size. It may or may not be big enough. I need a piece of card that is 6.5 inches, which is right that way, by 3.5. So we're in luck. So I need this to be cut at 3.5 inches. So I will miss soft suede. Oh, I love soft suede, Stuart. Oh, the new ink colours are just gorgeous, Brenton. Yes, vintage cards and soft suede are just, they just go. Right, so I am going to take this blade out. I cannot tell you how many times I've used it as a scoring blade, and it's not. So this is 6 inches and the card is 6.5, so that will be at 1/2 inch. And then we can go at, so it's 3.5 inches by 6.5. So I'm scoring at 1/2 inch, 1.25 inches at both ends. So let's do 1.25 and 3/4, no, half even. I think my brain's back with us. I mean, I used soft suede only a few days ago, so, you know. Then we are going to score at 1/2 inch. And then, oh, that was silly of me. From this end, we're going to score 3/4. Stupidly wrote down as if I just left that one there, so I'm just going to ignore I've done that. 3/4, 1.5, 2.25, and 3, which is the one I've already done. So those are our, or that is our scoring. And then, as ever with a box, just burnish. Soft succulent, I know, Nora, it was always going to go. Well, I say that. It was pretty much always going to go, although fresh freesia is going and then coming back again. So it doesn't always happen. But yeah, soft succulent is sad. But the new ink colours are really lovely. They're really earthy, and yeah. I've just realised I've taken the blade out of my trimmer and I'm going to need it in a minute, so let's put it back in again. Hello, Deborah from Michigan. So we're on phone today because, well, as one of my ex-colleagues used to say, today went a little bit like hell in a handbasket. Sorry about the use of that word, but, you know, it was just not a good day. Too much paperwork to go through. I will be doing, and I may well be doing it on my Simple Stamping Saturday slot, a romp through the catalogues. I always do a romp through the catalogues. Now, what I'm trying to work out is which my flap will be, because these are for the flap, and I think it's going to be that one. Doesn't really matter, but I do like it to be kind of reasonably central. So I'm going to cut away the score lines. For that, I've got a lovely tickle in my throat and I have no drink. And then I'm going to wedge out. And I was having a look at what product credit I've got, because I'm going to need a lot. And then just cut that one off. That one I'm going to trim down to about there. This is just going to be what stops this falling in. I might have to trim the length of this bit down a bit as well. It does work, but we'll see. So it will become apparent when I do it. So again, trimming so that the score line is not in the bit that we want to keep. And then trim, and trim, doesn't matter the angle there. And then this is straight. Cut that down, pull that away, leave that where it is. Angle. And then that's going to go at a bit of an angle. And trim. So that's all little waste bits. Mary really likes the new ink colours. Hello. I know I said hello to Deborah, but hello, Deborah. Trying to work out where I am. Right, so this is 4 inches. No, it's not. This is... Yes, it is. This is 4 inches. Oh, please, can I go back to bed? I'm going to cut my paper down to 3 7/8. And I'm doing that as much as anything. I would normally trim things down by more, but because these are such narrow pieces, I really can only take 1/8 of an inch off. So the sides of the box are 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to come down 1/8 of an inch. Otherwise, we'd be looking at 1/2 inch strips, which are ridiculous. And in fact, I'm going to cut them from this side because it's going to be so much easier. So I'm just cutting at 5/8. And I might even be really, and keep them in the same order so that the pattern matches. I'm not worrying about the end of the box. There really is a point at which life becomes too short, and that on this size box is it. So, seal is right in front of me. So I was just checking for more comments. So these are going to be really quick to put together. You can do them, mass production. I have to do a reel of doing one. You can make them in whatever colour you want. You can cut little windows in them if you've got a die that will fit in that 3/4 inch slot, and there are lots. The sending set springs to mind. Sending love, is it set? Which is carrying over. Now, one thing I do just want to mention, I have shared the retiring lists on my newsletter. And as I say, I will be doing my usual romp through the catalogues. Some of it is currently a little unclear because some items are carrying over, but they're not in the catalogue. So they're going to go straight online and be available to order online. Now, normally I would put my adhesive on here, but I'm going to put it on the side that it's going to attach to, just because it's easier that way. So yes, so things like some of the cut and emboss plates are only going to be listed online. So I was using shimmer white cardstock earlier this week. If you watch me, I did it on my Tuesday live. So I've put my adhesive there and I'm just going to fold it over, and that way I know it's going to meet beautifully. So I was looking for shimmer white cardstock. I'm just going to trim these to a bit of an angle so that they go into the box a little easier. And I cannot find shimmery white card either on the retirement list, certainly for Europe, or on the carryover, as in on the annual catalogue, the new annual catalogue. I'm just going to fold one end in and then get some more of these. Oh, the new yellow. Oh, so just 4 of these. So I have asked our support team, demo support, what's going on? Because I think it's really misleading that we don't know what's going to be an online exclusive or an online item. So the circle punches that have just been launched are online, but there's a new circle punch in the catalogue. It's just going to get very confusing. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. Hello, Wendy, you have got me twice. You're right. Now, this is soft succulent. And when you put it next to mint macaron, it's mint macaron. So I'm playing that game. So I'm just going to tie a bow. Simple as. And then I'm going to use that bunny punch. Now, the first one I used paper and then some white card. I will tie a bow. Honest, I will. But this time I'm going to stamp the bunny, and I'm going to stamp it tone on tone. So I will be grabbing my mint macaron ink pad. Oh, so that was the other thing that was shared with us this week, is that we are being told that our ink pads are not supposed to last forever, and because of the chemicals in the dye, some of them will break down. So just bear that in mind, really. And if you're buying ink and a re-inker, you should try and buy them together, because then they'll sit more comfortably together. Apparently. Mint macaron. So mint macaron ink. Do I have a piece of mint macaron that's big enough? Of course not. Let's get some. That should be big enough. Oh, that should be big enough. Of course it would be useful. Oh, I have got the... Suddenly thought I hadn't got the stamp set, but I have. I have the stamp set. It's here. So, the rabbit that fits the stamp is this one. So I'm going to use that. The rabbit that fits the stamp, I mean the punch. Dear Lord. Please help me. So now I work on the premise that if it's big enough to stamp, it's big enough to punch. And that's big enough to stamp, so it must be big enough to punch. Oh, there's a lag. Wonderful. That's what I like, a lag. Right, punch, 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 punch is here. Look at that little face. Isn't it so cute? Right, okay, so I need my now very retired 1/8 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to, sorry bunny, punch in the ear, grab some of the white baker's twine, which comes in the essentials pack. Don't know if it's staying. I'm still working my way through my retired list and catalogue, so I haven't got my head around everything yet. What I am quite pleased by is the number of stamp sets that are carrying over that I have yet to ink up. Because, you know, you look at them and you go, no, I haven't used you yet. And because I'm putting all my retiring stuff together to list to get rid of, and by when I say all, I mean about 7 years worth, the number of of stamp sets that haven't been opened and dies that are still in their cellophane wrapper. Anyway, so there we are. There is our little box. So it's 3.5 inches long, and 3/4 of an inch deep, because that's the size of my eggs. It's, you know, there's a bit of wiggle room, so if your eggs are slightly larger, you'll be okay. Then I can understand that I have an ink pad whose cushion is decaying. Well, that's what we're being told, Mary. So I got my old Pretty Peacock ink pad out, and it's crusty. There is no other word for it, and we're being told that that's why. There's a whole post that they've put on the website about it, which frankly annoyed me slightly, because they were trying to make us think that ink pads were like flowers in a vase that change over time. I'd like to think our ink pads last slightly longer than that. Anyway, moving swiftly on, let's put a rabbit in a box. Now, I told you I would tell you how I do this. So, I love the fact it says peel off. So this little ruler, and I'm going to work in inches because that's my bag. So it's a nice flat little ruler. You can put things on it. It's not got that curve that some of them have that can be a little annoying. So I'm looking at this being 1.5 inches. Let me grab a post-it. Sticky note. So one sticky note. So I've measured that as 1.5 inches, and its height is about, let's going to be about there, isn't it? So it's going to be, let's say 2 1/4. That'll give us a little bit of wiggle room. So it's by 2 1/4, and its depth or fatness is 1 inch by 1 inch. So if I'm looking to do a box similar to these, as in it's going to close at both ends, and I kind of want my bunny to be standing up. Smoky slate is the one that's gone funny. Really? I've never had a problem with smoky slate. But, oh, that's my old other post-it note that's just fallen on the floor. Wonder what the noise was. I think a lot of it is climatic as well, so it depends on, you know, where you are and whether you're humid or dry, or, you know. So I want my base to be 1 1/2 by 1, and the height to be the 2 1/2. So that's going to be the height, and that's going to be the depth and width, or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to have my lid here. So I'm going to have my height is going to be 2 1/4 inches. And I think I'll go the short distance. So that's 1 inch. So I've got 1 inch for that, plus the 2 1/2, plus 1 inch, plus I need something to tuck in. So that's plus another inch, because that's another inch, because it's 2 lots of 1/2 inch. So we've got 3 5 1/4. So that's 5 1/4. And then for the wrapping it round, I've got 1 1/2 plus 1. So 1 1/2 plus 1 plus 1 1/2 plus 1 plus 1/2, because we need an overlap. So we've got 3 4 5 1/2. It's going to be interesting to work my way around. Right, I'm going to grab some other paper. I'm going to stick with the Country Lane papers, and I'm going to go with this one. And let's see, what should we have? I'm only looking at this first so that I can decide what colour to use. Oh, mint macaron would work again. It's going to be a bit of a mint macaron afternoon, I think. Actually, that would be quite nice. That one, which has still got mint macaron. I might as well use up. Ooh, though that one's nice as well. Too many decisions. Right, we'll use that one. So I'm going to use mint macaron again. You know, got to use it up. I mean, it'll come back in 5 years' time, but for the moment, I'm going to use it up. So, right, grab my trimmer. And now this is where you have to apply some logic. So if there was if your box needed something that was going to be 4 by 7, I would cut the 4 here and the 7 here, because that way you're more likely to get more out of it. 5 1/2 and 5 1/4, frankly, it's not going to make much difference. So I'm going to do 5 1/4 this way, purely because it's the short edge, and 5 1/2 this way. Now the 5 1/2 is what's going to wrap around. So I'm going to do those score lines first while it's in my head. So I need a 1/2 inch for the flap. That's the seam. And then I need 1.5 inches plus 1/2, which is 2, plus 1 inch, which is 3, plus 1.5 inches, which is 4 1/2. And then that should leave me with 1 inch, which it does, miraculously. Then this, we've got a 1/2 inch again for our tuck in. So 1/2 inch. Then I want 1 inch. Now I happen to know that the edge of the measurement here is 1.5 inches, so that's 1.5 inches. And then I do exactly the same the other end. So 1/2 inch for the tuck, 1 inch for the lid or base, whichever way you're looking at it. And we're there. Now, while I've got my trimmer out, I'm going to trim my paper. So we've got we're going to cover these bits. So these are all 2¼ inches. So I'm going to start by cutting, shall I do it that way? Or shall I do it that way? Oh, I can do it that way. Oh, that'll fit. Right, so I'm going to start by cutting 2¼ So actually I will take it down to 2 1/8. So I'm taking 1/8 off. And then I want, my first panel will be 7/8. Stop me if I'm getting too carried away. All people traffic done. So I need to get some SU work done. See you later. Have fun. See you soon, Wendy. So I've got my first piece. So the next one is going to be so we've got this. This is the inch. This is the 2½, the 1½. So I'm going to take 1/8 off that. So that's 1 3/8. So 1. And if we, so that will go there. That will go there. And then I need to do the same again. So another 7/8. So is this making sense, even with my slightly dot and carry one today brain? And then 1 3/8. And then we do need, these are big enough to allow for a lid. Not going to get both lids out of that. So let's see, we want 7/8 by 1 3/8. Hello, Lorna. You were doing a workshop. Yay! Lorna was doing, as in you were running it. Yes, you've been. Lorna has been sharing pictures of the cards that she is making with her workshop people. So, which is lovely. So this, I'm just going to take another little narrow strip. So this is 7/8. So we're doing a box for a lint bunny, Lorna. I suddenly realised I had done no Easter projects, really. So time to rectify that little one. Right, okay, so we've got all of our pieces. Now we just need to make it up. So let's see if I can keep these in the right order. Stranger things have happened. Yes, those are the same size. So now we can burnish. It went well. Good. I'm so pleased. One thing I do find, and it would be interesting to see whether you guys find this as well, and I'm suddenly thinking, should I be saying guys? We had a Facebook Live earlier in the week it was a leaders live, and in fact everyone who was presenting was saying you guys, and someone took offense, so don't call us guys, but you know, it's easy to do. So one of these is going to be the lid, and I'm going to do that one because that's kind of the middle one, because I want it to be a wide one. So again, I'm going to cut away the score line. So yeah, what I was going to say was, I do find that if I'm scoring on my trimmer, the score lines are not as definite as when I score on my scoreboard. And I know why. It's because they are different, but I'm just wondering if I'm the only one. Hello, Kay. We are on my phone today because the laptop was deciding it was going to have a little snooze. So, and we're making Easter things. Right, so I'm going to cut all of that away. Like that. These ones get trimmed down. They're the blocks, as in, you know, the things that stop the box falling into itself. And then let's just trim them a wee bit. I'm going to trim this a wee bit. You can use a circle punch, not a circle punch, a corner punch. We don't have a corner punch. We still aren't going to have a corner punch, just saying. And then I'm going to repeat over this side. So again, I'm going to cut all the way up there, trim out, cut down, and I'm not fussed that it's not straight. If I was going to make this in anger, I would make that straight, but and by in anger I mean to gift somebody. I don't normally make boxes when I'm angry. So what I must remind you, and I know I've reminded you about this a number of times, but I think it deserves repetition, and having looked at the inventory status report earlier today for Europe, it definitely does. If there is anything you love that is in a particular colour, please get it now, because things are going to run out quickly. I had one of my customers placed an order. Sorry, I'm just going to do something really sad. I'm just going to turn all of these round this way because my box is I could have just turned the box over, but that would be too easy. One of my customers followed my advice at about 11:30 last night and has placed a very nice order, which includes some things that are retiring and some things that aren't, but mostly things that are retiring, because she's heeded my advice and she's got them while they're available. Please, 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 please get them sooner rather than later. And also, if something is on the retiring list that you fancy, the retiring list prices don't go live until the 4th of April. If there's something you really want, please don't wait. If you really want it, it's so much better to get it than to not, because it may sell out between now and then. Now, as an example, I fancy some of the small grid paper. The small grid paper is going to retire and it's going to be reduced. Now, I fancy it. I don't mind if I don't get it, so I'm going to wait. And if it's still available on the 4th of April, I will order it. But if I was desperate for it, I would order it today at full price. And I think it's going to be about half price. I mean, I have some small grid paper still in stock. I like it for when I'm doing reels. Otherwise, I have to cut up large grid paper, which I'm happy to do. But if I can get inexpensive small grid paper, then I will. But that's not the same as I want a Pear Pizzazz ink pad, so I'm going to wait. I mean, I don't even know if the ink pads are being reduced, to be honest. I haven't got that far on the list yet. Right, I prefer to score on the scoreboard, especially a 3D project. Yeah, I do as well, Stuart. I find it's better and more accurate. Yep, agree. Lorna says, her mum said, call me what you like, just don't call me late for dinner. I like that. I do love that little rabbit. Okay, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I've sent you an answer to your email you've sent me. Yes, I know, B. So I was asking, I'm on one of the demo councils. So again, I'm going to put the adhesive onto the box rather than the seam, because that way I can get it really close to the edge of that card. This ruler is also very good if you want a nice straight edge with your tear and tape. So yes, I'm on one of the demo councils, and I'm on the one for joining and what the joining experience is like. So again, I'm folding my flap down, folding this one up, and then it meets and we have a lovely little box. I need to trim those off. And we've got homework. And the homework is why you don't recruit. So why why people who are demos don't recruit. So I was asking my team that yesterday, and they've all come up with some very, very interesting reasons, I have to say. So this is, moment of truth. It fits, and it fits perfectly. Can I show you how perfectly it fits? Look, and if I shake it, so if I put it in upside down, you'll see just how perfectly it fits. Oh, it doesn't take much to make me happy. Right, so this is going to be the front because that's where the seams are. So that's going to be the front. And again, I'm going to use that magic, is it soft succulent, is it mint macaron ribbon. And this time I'm going to give it a really, really good wrap. And actually this is going to be the top. But no, I'm still going to have the bow there. Going to have the bow on the side, maybe towards the top of the side, and I will position everything better once I've tied the bow. So that goes there, trim. And then this, you can pop through there. Tighten everything up, or not. Tighten everything up, there we go. Tie it in half a knot, and then it will all sit nicely. And we can move it around a bit, so we can get everything straight. Nora says she'll be in touch later. That's fine. There's no rush. Mary ordered refills for the outgoing colours this morning. I had already ordered the in colours, well done. And of the colours I wanted, I was already one was already out of stock. Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem. And in Europe, some things are coming back before they're going. So polished pink card, which is currently out of stock, is coming back in. Now, the reason for that, I suspect, is that they were already shipping it. But I would work on the premise that, particularly if you're in South Pacific or Europe, that once it's gone, it ain't coming back. North America, because you're more local, maybe. But, yeah. Right, okay, so this time... Oh, it's too cute not to. This time I'm going to use this rabbit. And I'm not going to fussy cut it. I'm going to do something else. Actually, well, no, I might fussy cut it. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't really planned. I mean, that ear just wants to be a tag. Oh, I can get it that way. That's less wasteful, so let's do that. Now, we do have dies that will do a tag topper, she says, throwing her mint macaron across the room. But, you know, I am going to fussy cut it. It won't take long. And then we've got a quarter of an hour left for one of the others. And that's going to be a lot easier because I'm going to make it out of paper. So, yes, please don't wait for things. If you really, really want something, it's better to get it at any price than not get it at all. Frankly, I'm just going to get rid of that bit because it's annoying me. Now, I was told, I was trying to catch up on some training that I'm part of a training group, and I was trying to catch up on some of the talks that we've been given. And one of the ladies was talking about how you write and how you talk about stamping and how you write directions and stuff. And I think some of it, what she said was basically great. Some of it is not the same as I was told in business. But one thing she did say, and I would agree with, is don't use jargon. So you shouldn't say fussy cut your image out. You should say trim round your image with your paper snip scissors. Paper snips being jargon. I mean, it's actually what they're called, but you know. And fussy cutting, no. I have to say, I think fussy cutting, maybe if you're teaching a beginner, you wouldn't say fussy cutting. But is fussy cutting something you would say or not? So again, I'm going to use some of this white baker's twine. So things that I can tell you are carrying over because the retirement list is around. The in-colour twine for the carrying over in colours is staying. The in-colour metallic ribbon for the carrying over in colours is staying. What else is staying? The navy ribbon from the mini catalogue is staying. The ombre balmy blue ribbon is staying, as is the balmy blue ribbon that was part of the gnome suite in the winter catalogue, or the previous catalogue. Trying to think what else is carrying over. Nothing springs instantly to mind looking at my ribbon. Oh, the pool party grosgrain ribbon, which I'm using for my current class, which I must get out. So that's my lint bunny. Glossy dots are carrying over. Result. Basic pearls aren't, interestingly. I would only say fussy cutting to crafters, not newbies. Yeah, I think I would agree with that, Lorna. I mean, fussy cutting is actually a quilting term. I think I've said that before. Right, so I'm going to cover one of these. I might even, don't know, might have time to do both. They are not the same size. I deliberately chose them because they're not. This one's fatter than this one. Might do the Kit Kat one. Let's have a look at what I've got out. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to use this paper again. And you've probably seen me do this a number of times. Certainly my customers have received things like this a number of times. So I'm actually going to use the full 6 inches. I need at least 4 inches. In fact, that's the fat bit. So should we do that? I'll do 4 inches. So I need 4 by 6, which is great if you're using a 12 by 12 pad or pack, because you can get 4 by 6, so you'll get 6 out. This obviously is just a scrap, and that's 5.5, so I'm going to cut 6 inches this way and then trim 4 inches this way. And I have a thing about having it the right way up once it's put together. So what I do first is I wrap it so that I just check that everything's all right. And I normally use a piece of retired paper for that, but that's fine. So I've got that. I now know that that is big enough. So 4 by 6 inches is going to be ample. So I can then pop my tear and tape on. And of course, I've just put that back on my rack. So let's get that out again. And again, I'm going to put it, no, that's the underneath. I want to put it so that it's on top. So the paper's on top is what I'm trying to say, failing abysmally. And I will use my ruler again. Helps if you pull in the right direction. This is a really easy, quick way to wrap something. That's going to be fine. And then I'm just going to put some tear and tape. You can do this with multi-purpose liquid glue. You can do this, and by this I mean this bit, You can do the length with multi-purpose liquid glue as well. But you could do this with a staple if you feel so inclined. And I quite often do that for customer gifts because, again, it's quick. And I stupidly bought my customer gifts yesterday, forgetting that I was going to potentially be getting some more orders with the retiring list. I'm going to have to go and buy some more, which is fine. It's a good problem to have. So now the key really is to get everything square. So if you line up one end, the other end theoretically should line up. It hasn't, but you know. And then just squish the ends together so that you have a little sealed parcel like that. And it's so easy. I mean, so easy. That's the fat bit. And then what you can do, I'm not going to use ribbon this time. Oh, except I could use the balmy blue. No, I'm not going to use ribbon this time. I am going to use the bunny again, the punch, and I'm also going to use some of this paper, because some of this paper, oh, except actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go matchy-matchy. So I'm going to go this paper again. Like that. And a piece of white. And the reason when I'm using paper that I do a white as well is so that when you put them together, that's where you would write, and then that's your pretty tag. And again, we're going to pierce his ear. Grab this. Drop a piece off. And that's the fat bit. So this is the top. I'm going to punch a hole in that as well. And then that. No, let's put it the right way around because I want it to go that way. That. Now I could have used the gingham ribbon, but it's two fussy patterns next to each other as opposed to the same fussy pattern next to it. And we could of course put a little sentiment on the other side. What have we got? We have got Happy Easter. Might fit. Or might not. I think high is about the only one I would run the risk, so I'm not going to. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to grab one of the blue pieces, that one. And this one is fatter. It's still going to be a 6-inch, but let's see, because we've got more bulk. It's going to go to there. So that is, I need 4.5 without a seam, so I'm going to go 5, yeah, 4 3/4, I think. 4 3/4. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. Really simple, but sometimes simple is best. So did I say Merry Merlot was going? Merry Merlot's going. Which surprises me. It only came in the last colour refresh. Just saying. Now, of course, you could put this with the petal pink out, but I'm in a kind of blue-green mood. perfect. Oh, I could even line up the pattern. That would be suitably, you know, controlling. Oh, and there's new tips coming for the take your pick. New toys, including a perforating wheel. Helps, of course, if you take this off as well. What are the chances of me getting that pattern lining up? Anyone willing to take a bet? Now that I've said, ooh, exciting, I could get the pattern to line up. What are the chances? Hello, Rita. I mean, it should line up, but what are the chances? Ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Come on, come on. Oh, happy crafter. I keep looking at the camera where I would normally go, oh, I'm so happy, but I can't say it because I'm not on that setup. Now, I have been told that there is another streaming service that I could look at, and I am going to look at it. To do it properly costs money, but I think it's worth it, and it would then mean that I can stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. 99%. Oh, bless you, Kay. Yes, and I did do it. I love it when it matches up. Yes, Rita, it's just sometimes things just do what you want them to do. Right, okay, so what have we got that I can punch a rabbit out of? Well, any of these, because there's a lot of... It's not like I don't... Oh, I could use a slightly different pattern, couldn't I? So let's use that one. And I'm going to use the rabbit punch again, which I keep putting down and not being able to find. The rabbits are carrying over. Really happy that the rabbits are carrying over. And this will be our last project because it's 4 o'clock. It's the witching hour. And I know some people still haven't changed clocks yet. At least I don't think they have. It's all terribly confusing at the moment. But by the beginning of April, middle of April, everything should fall into place. So I'm going to do exactly what I did before and punch a hole in my parcel. Pop that through there. Pop that through there. Now, if you want your rabbit to go the other way, you just punch wrong side up. So you do have the option of having your rabbit pointing to the left instead of the right. I know that's fairly, for many of you, will be a fairly obvious thing to work out, but for those who are beginners, I will show you what I mean. So yes, Simple Stamping Saturday this week will be on hold, and I will be doing a romp through the catalogues. They will be the Europe catalogue and English only. We have 4 languages to deal with. So the discounts will be different potentially across the world. So if I want my rabbit to be facing the other way, I just punch that way and then he's facing the other way. It is beautiful paper. It's the lovely country ginghams. I just wish it was carrying over, but it's not. Anyway, so there we are. We have our 3 little Easter gifts. Really inexpensive. I mean, the Easter eggs were less than £1 for the whole bag. These, I think, were 50 or 60p each. Often they're on offer. I'm looking at the camera again. Don't look at the camera, Liz. So they're really inexpensive. And yeah, just have fun with them. So do remember, if you don't already subscribe, you can do so by clicking the button at the bottom right hand corner. And that way you'll know when I've posted on Saturday. You also know when I've posted live or am posting live, particularly if you hit that alert bell. If you're in any of the European countries we cover, so that's UK, Ireland, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands and Belgium. If you would like to try out my customer service, please do. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. You're very welcome, Kay. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you're watching on replay, remember you can ask questions by leaving them below the comments. And I think 2 questions behind at the moment, so I'm feeling quite proud of myself. I had a blitz. Thank you, Minda. Thank you, Lorna. So yes, there we are. Those are today's projects. I will be back on Saturday for the romp. It will be recorded. I will have to take a calm pill afterwards. I will do 2 catalogues separately. To do them together is just too much for anyone. So I will post them as 2 separate videos. And as I say, they'll probably go up on Saturday. I put mini white cottontails on my bunnies. Oh, that's a good idea. And mini Google eyes. They're adorable. Oh, that would be... You know what you can use if you've got it? No. If you've got the Snowfall Accents puff paint... Have we got? We've got a couple of minutes. We can spare a couple of minutes. It's not great to put it on. Let me find another. Let me punch another bunny and I will show you. So you do need to be quite generous with your puff paint. Just saying, don't scrimp. So I'm going to put a nice bunny's worth of puff on. I'm going to grab my trusty cheese board. I'm going to move the chocolate out of the way. For those of you who know me, I could care less whether it melts or not, but hubby might not. And so this was in the autumn winter catalogue. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's retired. And it does take a little while to get going, but there we go. It's going. It's going. Let me... And you get a little puffy ball. You get your little puff ball. You do need to let it set, is all I would say. Hello, Kate. I'm punching bunnies, absolutely. Stuart, you're very welcome. I mean, if you've got it, for crying out loud, use it. I mean, I wouldn't, as a general rule, I wouldn't demonstrate a retired product. But if we're talking about bunny tails, if you have that puff paint, it makes a perfect bunny tail. So yeah, there we go. Right, I'm going to see if I can flip the camera back up. Bear with me. Yes. Hello, it's me. Right, so we are on the phone. Thank you very much for joining me today. Sorry, it was a bit shaky. I'm going to go and start installing new software and see if that works. But my main project for today and tomorrow, the rest of today and tomorrow, is get the... Kate's laughing. Get the class out. Class kits have got to go out in the mail before this weekend. And also do my romp through the catalogue. So, yes. As I say, if you've enjoyed it, thumbs up. If you've got questions or comments, below the description bar. And I will see you all again live on Tuesday. Maybe using new software. You never know. Bye for now. Well, I would go bye for now if it would actually stop for me. Thank you, Rita. Thumbs up.